This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
It's Monday, March 9th, and this is your Barbados Today Evening Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. 6 years after domestic workers and artisans were granted the right to move freely across CARICOM member states, they are still grounded, and it's a major concern for the Barbados-based Caribbean Policy Development Center. Over the last 4 days, the non-governmental organization has been discussing the issue at a 4-day workshop. CPDC's Executive Director Chantal Monroe-Knight says Barbados and other regional workers will soon receive fresh recommendations on how to kickstart the process.
In order for these groups to move, they have to have a skill certificate, right? In order to get the skill certificate, you have to have this Caribbean vocational qualification or the CVQ, right? And in many countries, the CVQ regime is not yet fully established. So again, even if I want to move, the mechanism that would allow me to move may not necessarily be in place, because now we would have to ask the question whether or not now a domestic from Barbados can actually, in fact, get a skill certificate from Barbados to be able to move, or can get a CVQ. Is the CVQ regime actually established? Is there a national process for accreditation established in Barbados? So that you have those sorts of issues on the table.
He's simply annoyed. Education Minister Ronald takes the National Insurance Scheme to task for its late payment of benefits to the public. Speaking at a Democratic Labour Party branch meeting of the Christchurch South constituency last evening, Jones made it clear that it's unacceptable, and he insisted that the poor and the vulnerable must not be sacrificed, and he's called for a major reordering of the process and the system.
And I cannot understand in the heavens how come that anybody, and I can ask no aspersions on anybody, can't understand that these people need their benefits. You cannot play around with the benefits of people, the benefits of babies and children. No computer system, no technological system should stop me, because it does not set itself, it does not run itself, from getting what is rightfully mine.
Transport Minister Michael Lashley is appalled by the conditions in the river bus terminal, and he wants a major overhaul. Lashley, who led representatives from his ministry, police, health authorities, and other officials of a tour of the river van stand today, complained about the lack of water and proper toilets, among other issues. He is now exploring the possibility of converting the nearby former Queen's College building into a fully equipped terminal.
We have the infrastructure here already, so it will make it a lot easier. Cost-wise, I think it makes sense. The building is still structurally sound. It's already they have about 10 toilets in here already. And with proper design, probably you can look at something that really would be pleasing to the area, and pleasing to the traveling public, pleasing to the ZR drivers, minibus drivers, and other operators.
Vendors plying their trade in the river van stand will also benefit from the expected facelift to the area. Director of Transport Alex Linton says vendors are presently operating in worrying conditions.
We have some serious concerns as how these stalls were constructed. We're also concerned about the proximity to one another, also what they're actually selling to the public. That's a health concern, because we recognize that some don't even have the necessary sanitary facilities in place. Then we realized the garbage that was lying around some of them, which is very inappropriate. I know the terminal workers do their best, and not most, but some individuals do block with their structures access to the areas that need some serious cleaning. So we'll be taking a relook at this seriously over the next couple of weeks. and maybe even sooner try to get some personnel in here to do some cleaning.
To the law courts now, 2 Caribbean nationals are facing a number of drug-related charges. 26-year-old Jamaican Melissa Latoya Harrison, who arrived there on the 1st of March, was interviewed by police and referred to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, where she passed out 45 packages of the drug she had ingested. She has been charged with possession of cannabis, possession with intent to supply, trafficking, and importation. In a separate matter, 48-year-old Michael Roland Felix of Guyana has been charged with trafficking cocaine. Felix, who lives in Suriname with another man, was apprehended by lawmen after a search of their apartment at Dover Christchurch uncovered 87 packages of cocaine weighing 1.2 kilograms. Investigations are continuing.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
To the region now, Leah travelers to Dominica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines may have to brace for cancellations between now and April. The airline is warning that it may have to limit flights because of seasonal high winds in both countries. Liat explains that the aircraft has tailwind limitations, which are set by the manufacturers during the certification process, and it is therefore not permitted to take off or land when the prevailing winds exceed these limits. The regional carrier says it is also forced to restrict the number of bags on the aircraft because the wind conditions can restrict the takeoff weight of the airline. The company pledged to assist customers who have been affected. On the international scene, aviation history was created today with the first successful attempt to fly around the world without a drop of fuel. The aircraft, called the Solar Impulse 2, took off from Abu Dhabi and landed in Oman after the 12-hour flight. Over the next 5 months, it will move across continents. Here's a look at that historic moment from the BBC.
There are all sorts of things that could go wrong. Imagine being across the Pacific in a storm in that thing. You know, it would be terrifying. And they have to keep awake. Then they only can nap for 20 minutes at a time, and then they get woken up again, sitting in this cramped little cab. But I mean, they will be feeling great now. This is a simple short leg, but they will be feeling wonderful as it comes into land.
And there we are. Confirmation, we're down. Solar Impulse has touched the ground and landed in Oman. First leg is now complete. And congratulations from all of us in Monaco Mission Control, including Prince Albert of Monaco, who's here to see André safely down the ground.
Well, there it is. Pretty understated. You saw a ripple of applause from Mission Control, but just that one line, confirmation, we're down. The first leg of this journey completed.
And that's our evening updates, but you can join us again tomorrow morning. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 online TV as well as Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. To join us again tomorrow.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy.